all day, but we finally have steam. So I'm no expert, but I don't think fuses are supposed to look like that. Took all day, but we finally have steam. And there's screwdrivers shoved in contact points to make things run that aren't running, and nothing is perfect, but we're at least cooking corn. Yeah, spent all day figuring out what they all wired up for this new leg. Our biggest issue right now is this drag out of the wet bin does not turn on and off when the dryer is full. So it will just keep pumping corn in and back leg the new leg. There's supposed to be a shut off in there, but we cannot figure out how to get the dryer to control that. So for tonight, we might just have somebody stand there and turn the switch on and off when the dryer calls for corn. But at least till we find the next set of issues. First day never goes well, but we're officially cooking. We didn't have any dry corn on site to fill the dryer up with, so the first 40 to 60 ton that comes out of the dryer is still going to be too wet, so it's getting ran into that bin, and then we got to sweep the floor, run it back through the system to get the dryer full of dry corn. But just some startup things. But guys got a 2-inch water hose ran up the side of the dryer. We're filling our sprayer tender. Ooh, that's not good. Okay. That won't stay in without the fan running anyway, Chase. So what's that? It won't stay in without the fan running anyway. I don't know. You push the button. No. You push the button.
Push the button.
Yeah. False alarm. You push the emergency stop. By accident. Yeah. Hopefully we can work on my here. We're drying corn. Somebody's gonna have to turn this switch on and off all night. Not a great time. What's the Forrest Gump one? I will not abandon my stand. This is where
I will do whatever you tell me to, drill sergeant.
He yells out the door. He turns the switch off. Seems to be every 2-3 minutes. He's got to run it for 30-40 seconds. Also, we were trying to empty the dryer into bin 6, and the downspout is plugged. So currently we're emptying the bin into number 1, which is okay. It's just a little harder to reclaim the wet corn back into the system when the dryer gets the dry corn through it. The boys are going up to see if it's plugged at the cushion box or if it's plugged at the top of the leg. There must have just been some wet stuff come out of something somewhere at some point, 'cause she started back legging and it was supposed to be coming in here. Okay, as you can see, a few hours have passed. It is now not daylight. Electrician was out. He got the wet bin drag to turn on and off through the dryer. It was actually something that I had unwired when one of the contactors fried itself last week. I took one off and put it in a different spot and left the one spot open, but it actually required that spot to be closed. Anyway, my bad. Sorry, electrician that had to come out. But elevator as of now running like it's supposed to. So we are going to try and get 2 dumpers and the buggy full of corn tonight, so the hay buster can come up first thing and start grinding away. So yeah, typical Stone Ridge fashion, fire up when the sun goes down. That would be 12 acres-ish, something like that we'll get done tonight. I really want to get this, I want to get corn ran through this thing, get all that mud that's caked on everything cleaned off. Okay, well, we're in the field. I see you've got one row that is up a bit. Oh, bad things just happened. Tailings auger just quit. Tailings elevator chain. I never looked if my bubble up auger was spinning. Shoot. I have plugged the bubble up auger is no longer turning. So it's skipping the chain to the bubble up auger. Wow. I'm thinking that the corn couldn't even get to the auger. We'll check back in when we get this all dealt with here.
Oh, I don't know. It was counting.
Was it?
Right.
Yeah, we'll try and I really hope it's not the gearboxes.
Oh my god, the lighting.
I really hope it's not the gearboxes. So my plan of attack is I'm going to take the chain that drives the bubble auger off. We'll see if we can get everything else to turn. And then we'll try putting that back on, but I am really concerned that I have just jammed up my bubble auger gearboxes. So I had a guy I know that combines Suzuki's literally sent me snaps of him doing that in the middle of a Suzuki harvest. I thought I got away with it. I should have just went slower. I was going way too fast. This is my fault. Hopefully corn comes out of there. No sense. The bubble auger was turning when I ran the cutter. I better go in the bin before I put that back on. Wow. We're gonna jam the unload auger when we fire her up now. That's bad. That's nasty. Can I get that pipe wrench? See if you can spin the bubble up. Whoa. Crazy. Okay. I'll do the pie bar again.
Yeah.
I better get all that clean in there. That's all. Sure. I believe all that is dirt as well. It should be an open access to the bubble up, I think. That is crazy. I should have looked in here the other day. The haybuster's not gonna like this stuff either. Man, oh man. I'm holding my phone and not the... This whole nighttime filming thing is ridiculous. Well, it's loose anyway, right?
Yeah.
That's nasty. Okay, we'll see if we can get those big chunks out, and I'll put that chain back on and we'll see what happens, I guess.
Hey.
I see what happened. That got all bent, that's why my bubble, so I am mistaken. That chain up above the light drives the bubble bogger. That's why my bubble bogger was still turning. The chain on the inside there drives the clean green elevator. I was wondering why the heck it was all so loose, but that being punched down is the culprit of that. Nasty construction. So what's happened is a chunk of dirt went up, blocked the clean grain from getting to the bubble bogger, and it has plugged my tailing, or my clean grain elevator solid. That's right full of corn, which caused my tensioner to get bent all the snot, which then caused the chain to kink, so it is trapping clean corn in one side of the elevator, and that's why it will not run. So we need to manually turn the elevator backwards to get the corn out. I'm thinking this corn is very wet. But that is what we're dealing with. We got Dave making love to a pipe wrench up there, and he's doing stuff. We're getting kernels falling out at this point.
Okay. Just give me a sec. Give me a sec.
Ooh, she's kind of loose.
Yep.
Basically, you gotta get enough weight to fall out of this thing that the tensioner, I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. I'm hoping I can find a ratchet strap. Can you look in the truck if there's a ratchet strap? Probably isn't.
Everything else is moving but this.
can go back the way you were going now. Well, we are retreating back to the customer's home farm. Our gray service trailer is there, and Christian is on his way up in the other truck. We're going to send 3 employees home, and me and Chris are going to mess around with this thing. The issue is the tensioner for the clean grain elevator chain is all bent to snot. So even with the amount of tension that we have, we can't get that chain tight enough. That's what that rumbling is. So we either got to we got to bend the tensioner back straight would be the most ideal thing, or we got to take some links out of the chain so that minimal tension that we do have, adjustment, gets the chain tight enough. Regardless, I'm not doing that in the middle of the field, and at this point we send the employees home and me and Chris can mess around with this. I'm going to send the sample home. I don't even know if we're going to be combining this corn right now. She's pretty wet. 0.1 of an acre of corn harvest. What a cluster. I should have just... I don't think it would have mattered how slow I went. I think a big enough chunk fell off and plugged up where it comes out of the clean grain into the bubble up, and it was over before I knew it. So I should have opened that up and checked that cover yesterday when I was doing the walk around on this thing, and I definitely will from now on. Jeez. At the end of the day, that's why we came up here tonight, to try it. At least the hay buster's not sitting waiting on me, and the hay buster might not even have to come up if the corn is too wet. So. Well, we're back at his farm. We're grabbing a skid steer, and we're going to try and bend this piece up. We just need to get the chain tight enough, so hopefully he can fit in here with the skid steer and not wreck our panel at the same time. Because this panel doesn't open up, it opens sideways. Flat plan did not work. We ended up, so what we're trying is, we've cut the bent thread rod out. He actually has an amazing selection of thread rod in his shop, so we're going to try just putting a longer piece in. And who cares if that's bent, as long as the chain is tight, we just need a longer rod, so don't we all? I got a bunch of other stuff I got to put back together from trying to get it unplugged. First going to put in this flap back down and duct tape it. At least until we know it's not going to happen again. So that's where we're at. It's literally duct tape and ratchet straps. You can't see that. I think we're ready to run it one last time, and we'll go try a different field, but the first one tested 36 according to our moisture tester. So if this next one is also anywhere near that, I would imagine we're not combining.
I would assume anything over 30. So I'm at half capacity at 30. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna run it one more time, and hopefully we can go try a different field. It sounds about as good as it's ever gonna sound, I think. I'm gonna maybe key cycle, and maybe it gets rid of all those. Otherwise, we blew a fuse when everything jammed up. But that's pretty minor at this point. So I'm no expert, but I don't think fuses are supposed to look like that. Huh. Oh boy. That one got hot. Well, you probably can't see it, but the head already has frost on it. So this is going to be very short-lived. we're just trying to make sure the combine works. And as of now, nothing is working. I did find the fuse. It was a blown fuse. And the melted fuse is for my long distance lights that are on again, but that fuse gets very hot. So we're just going to combine enough to make sure the combine works and get a sample. We don't want to combine too much that the hay buster has to come up here even if we aren't combining. So get a sample, take the sample home. Go from there. We're going so slow. Like, I'm not doing that ever again. That was stupid. Come on, corn. Start coming through the bin. How many headlamps did you get?
24. Because I had that marker issue in
At Hoagie's there.
at Hoagie's, and then I came to this one next. So what was it saying it before?
I didn't even make it that far.
Okay.
She was plugged up long before that. '27 is manageable.
Do we have another cup here?
Yeah, I just started out going way too fast, which I was only going like 2 miles an hour.
So half speed.
I looked up to make sure the bubble up water was going around, and it was, and then number 4 row was started plugging, so I was playing with the duct plates for that, and by the time I went back up, it's game over.
I burned my face with a stick welder today. Not very good at stick, so everybody knows.
Bushels. That's what the combine thinks is. She is so dirty.
Is there? Well, it'll take a bit to clean out, but then is there any point in mapping this part of it then?
I can refresh it once.
What's that?
I can refresh it once. Well, we got 3/4 of a bin full. Combine saying anywhere, well, we're gonna look right now. 28% average, so we're gonna take a sample home and test it, see how close that is. I definitely need to get my mass flow sensor scraped off, which I think I know where it is. She's working, but it's, yeah, definitely not up to capacity, and I probably won't be for a while. At least we got 1.7 acres combine today. 1.2 acres. Big day. It's not bad. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed our misery, and hopefully tomorrow goes better.
Our first day of silage was good too, right? So
This brutal. I knew that was gonna happen. I should have just crawled into it, and yeah, I should have just did some last night, to be honest. But here we are, heading home at 1:30. See you tomorrow.